So causation. So one common mistake people make is to assume that because there's a correlation, that one variable causes the other to happen. And this is usually not the case. Okay, that would be like saying the amount of alcohol in the beer causes it to have a certain number of calories. However, fermentation of sugars is what caused the alcohol content. So the more sugars you have, the more alcohol can be made, and the more sugar, the higher the calories. So it's actually the amount of sugars that causes both. So do not confuse the idea of correlation with the concept of causation. Just because two variables are correlated does not mean one causes the other to happen. Okay, so the beer and the fermentation process and so on you might not be familiar with unless you're a brewer. So let's look at something that's a little bit more straightforward to understand the difference here. So in example 10.2.2, correlation versus causation. So a study showed a strong linear correlation between per capita beer consumption, so there's a quantitative variable, and teacher salaries. So again, another quantitative variable. So if we had had that data, we could have input two lists of data and got a value of R, and they're saying there was a strong linear correlation between those. So does giving a teacher a raise cause people to buy more beer? Or on the other side, does buying more beer cause teachers to get a raise? You know, if that last statement is true, I know some universities I would really like a job at. So in our solution here, we've got, there's probably something else in here that is affecting both of these. So there is probably some other factor causing both of them to increase at the same time. So think about this. So in a town where people have little extra money, they won't have money for beer, and they're not going to be very willing to give their teachers raises. In another town where people have more extra money to spend, it'll be easier for them to go out on the town and buy some beer, and they would be more willing to give teachers raises.